Donald Trump is the front runner. Can you believe this, A? Or Jeb Bush, a guy who supports doing away with carried interest, is he your guy?
Well, I think what Donald was saying, if I heard it correctly, is he was focused on exclusively financial activities that don't create jobs, don't create economic growth, and in the private equity industry, that's what you do. Because
but no one seems to know that. Mitt Romney couldn't seem to articulate to America that private equity is a job creator.
Well, you're a job creator because if you grow your companies fast and you put leverage on them, you'll make much more money. Now, firms like Blackstone, for example, earn about double for their customers what the stock market earns. The only way you do that, it's not a mystery, is you have to have companies growing faster.
Yeah, but then the mystery is the American people don't know that. No one has really told them that story, and they look to Donald Trump as the business icon.
No, but Donald said on his tax things that he was against hedge funds that are basically, I guess in his view, just investing in financial products. And it's unclear what he wants to do with other types of business. But on taxes generally, you know, it's an important issue, and it needs to be addressed on an overall basis. And it is interesting to me that many of these candidates are going to more of a flat tax and getting rid of more and more deductions. And I have always thought that to do that, whether it's with 2 breakpoints or 3 and getting rid of almost all deductions, would be a very simple way of having tax. Everybody would understand it. There'd be an inherent fairness with it, and you protect people at the bottom, you know, with a safety net. And why is that not a good thing?
Yeah, Steve Rattner, I mean, that makes sense on its face, but also I think Donald Trump is saying that he'll cut $11 trillion out of taxes and grow the economy 6% a year. Which sounds a little far. 8% a year. I beg your pardon. I didn't want to understate it.
Here's the incredible thing. So Donald Trump said yesterday that he had massive tax deductions, so much so that he didn't know if he was going to benefit from his own $11 trillion tax cut. So I think if we ever get a look at Donald Trump's taxes, we will see in living color all the things that should be changed in order to make the tax code more fair. His tax plan is ridiculous. It isn't paid for. It can't be paid for. We can't grow that fast. And he simply took what Jeb Bush put out, which was also probably on the aggressive end, and he just put it on steroids.
So is anyone, we know that you've been a supporter of the Democrats in the past, but is anyone on the Republican side making sense in your view about their economic plan?
We don't have too many economic plans out yet. We have Bush's tax plan. We have Trump's tax plan. I'm not sure we have really many other specifics from the Republican candidates. I think people like John Kasich make a lot of sense when they talk generally about how he was chairman of the Budget Committee in the House for a long time, as you know.
And he's done a pretty good job in Ohio, as far as I can tell.
He's done a great job in Ohio, as best anyone can tell. So I think we have some sensible people out there, but they've not yet put out their detailed plans.
What about John Kasich? You just met with him, I think, didn't you?
I like John. He's done a remarkable job in Ohio. He won his last election by 30 points. I mean, this is like, I've never heard anything like that. And he's quite experienced, and he's a good person. And he also worked at Lehman Brothers, like Steve Rattner and Schwarzman.
There's a theme through the morning. Lehman Brothers
is a small group.
I ask you, David, you have a different background than we do. In the media world, these candidates, many people are saying, John Kasich, who is he? How quickly can a candidate amp up the volume, turn things around, that they become front and center? People have known Donald Trump. He's been a celebrity businessman for years.
Well, when you come to the nomination, first of all, he's from Ohio, which is relatively important when it gets down to the election. I mean, Ohio and Florida still, with maybe Colorado, are going to help determine the election, so that's pretty important. He also, and I know him some, not terribly well, but I know him some, he also strikes me as having a lot of Jeb Bush's strengths and being a sensible person, sort of relatively moderate. But he also seems unplugged. He seems genuine. When you saw him in that first debate, when he was asked the question about same-sex marriage, it felt like a very heartfelt response, where he said he personally was objective, but he would love any relative that was part of that. And he seems like a genuine person to me, from what I know of him, Steve.
Yeah, he's a genuine person. Actually, you know, so is Jeb. You know, he tells you what he thinks, and he's very deliberate about it. You know, he hasn't, you know, gone up as much in the polls as he can. But as to Stephanie's question, what does it take to break out. I think you have like 18 people trying to figure that out, at least. And they just happen to be candidates. And look what Carly Fiorina did with just like one debate performance. So we live in a world now, a television world, where if you have a good night, you know, it could be a good career.